Hey guys, before we get into things, please subscribe to our channel and make sure you turn on notifications so you know every time we post. And also, head over to our social pages, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram so you can see clips and chat wrestling with us. But now, let's get into the video.
What's going on, C2 wrestling fans? You got your boy Snowden here yet again with a little bit of a different video tonight. We got some breaking news in the world of wrestling. But before I get into that breaking news, I do want all you C2 fans out there, to hit our channel. Go into that page, hit the subscribe button, turn those notifications on, hit the like button on this video. We got so much content coming your way, from breaking news videos like this to live streams, reactions, podcasts, so much coming your way. You want to have the notifications on to know when we are dropping new videos. This one's a little bit of a surprise. How would you know this is coming without that notification button turned on? Now, I am solo today, solo Sokoa right now. Chris is a little bit busy driving back from the Eagles' Super Bowl victory, head held high. Congratulations, Eagles. But on to the breaking news. We got three. One, two, three. I feel like The Rock. Bad blood. Three free agents in the world of wrestling, and they are big names. If you can't tell by the thumbnail, we have Miro, aka Rusev, Aleister Black, Malachi Black, and we got Ricky Starks, all released from their AEW contracts, no longer on the AEW roster page. And this is breaking news in the world of wrestling. These are three mega talents that have so much potential. And in this landscape of wrestling right now, with WWE, AEW, the Indies, there's so many places for them to go, so many things they could do. But we want to discuss here, I want to talk about the potential of all these guys going to WWE and what it can mean for WWE, what it can mean for these wrestlers, potential matchups, what I think they should do. And there's a bit to get into. I want to start with a former WWE star himself in Rusev. Now, he hasn't been around in a while. You know, he had a really good run as Rusev in WWE. He was held back a little bit. Happy Rusev Day was one of the most over things in the company at that point. And ultimately, it ended up with Rusev being released. And he goes over to AEW, becomes Miro, has a TNT title run under his stint, but what else, really? You know, maybe it's a fault of Miro. Maybe it's a fault of AEW. Who's to say? But he has not been on TV in a long time, and its potential wasted. Now, Rusev could come back to WWE, go right to Raw, right to SmackDown, and immediately find himself in a mid card feud, mid card title feud. Hell, again, Rusev Day was so over, he could build that momentum back and be one of the top dogs for all I know. But I think Rusev, if he's going to float back over to WWE, I think you put him in NXT. I think the men's division over there can use somebody like Rusev. Now, Chris and I have discussed here on C2 Wrestling that the men's division in NXT has been lacking a little bit over the last couple months. You know, I couldn't even imagine that men's division without somebody like Ethan Page coming over, also from AEW. You still got Trick Williams, Ethan Page. You still got Fraxium, Tony D, Obafemi. You know, there's some great names over there, don't get me wrong. But Rusev is a established name that can really help build that talent over there for a little while. And it doesn't have to be an NXT mainstay. He could do a couple months stint down there, come back up to the main roster when we see fit. I think NXT needs that star power right now. They got great names again, don't get me wrong, but you know, almost long gone are the days of Bobby Roode debuting, Shinsuke, Drew McIntyre returns. I think NXT really needs a bigger name that doesn't even have to necessarily be NXT champion. I'm not saying send Rusev in there and have him beat Obafemi, but you send Rusev in there and you can have him build up some of these younger guys. Imagine a Rusev Javon Evans feud. You know, that can go crazy for a little while. Rusev is very flexible too. He could be a face, he could be a heel. He's kind of one of the best of both worlds type wrestlers. I think putting him in NXT would be really the best decision for Rusev going back to WWE. Now, nothing is guaranteed here. You know, this is all fantasy booking. Rusev could go to Defy. He can go to GCW. He might never wrestle again. We have no idea. But we love Rusev here. Happy Rusev Day. I would love to see him back in WWE, specifically black and gold, black and silver, I should say, NXT. Now, transitioning from Rusev, there is another former WWE star, and Chris and I, C2 Wrestling, we have put out a video about this already, only a matter of weeks ago. Is this the imminent return of Aleister Black? What a wrestler, what a gimmick, what a performance, everything. The theatrics of Aleister Black, the in-ring ability, the promo skills, that is a wrestler's wrestler, in my opinion. He is one of the best guys to do it. I think we all want to hear that theme song hit and see him rise up with some candles in the background and make his illustrious return to WWE. You know, he got let go from WWE at a time where there was a lot of people getting let go. It was COVID, it was the Vince regime. Aleister Black, that one hit hard when he got cut. You know, he was one of those guys that I really thought had all the potential in the world to be a heavyweight champion, be a world champion, and he absolutely still does. You know, you have to expect he's looking to go back to WWE. His wife is Lena Vega, freshly on SmackDown now. Maybe you pair them up, maybe you don't. There's definitely some avenues there. I think Aleister Black, different from Rusev, straight to the main roster. I think Aleister Black has surpassed the NXT days. You know, not that he's any greater than Rusev in a way, but I think Rusev is a perfect name to enhance talent in NXT, where Aleister Black is the perfect guy to come in to Friday Night SmackDown and dethrone Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, this U.S. title run of Shinsuke now, it was a little out of nowhere. You know, LA Knight lost the title to Shinsuke in a surprise matchup. You know, we didn't really see Shinsuke's return coming. He takes the title off LA Knight in a few weeks, and he's been holding the title now for almost 3 months, and haven't really seen much of it. Shinsuke wasn't even on the most recent SmackDown. I'm led to believe that they have a plan in motion. You know, WrestleMania is coming up. Shinsuke probably has a U.S. title match on the card to some degree, whether it's a singles match or a multi-man match. I think Alistair coming in, maybe it's not at Mania, maybe it's the Raw after Mania, maybe it's not even Shinsuke. Whoever wins the U.S. title at WrestleMania, assuming Shinsuke loses it, I think Aleister Black is the perfect guy to come in and immediately go into the mid card title feud. I do want to keep him a little bit away from Braun Breaker for a little bit and the IC title. I think there's other avenues and other stories there for Braun Breaker at the moment, even though Braun Breaker versus Aleister Black, I mean, take my money. Take all my money. Aleister Black, though, I think is the perfect name to come in as a face and dethrone Shinsuke. You know, there's definitely some face talent over there on SmackDown that could do so, but they're not going to put the title back on LA Knight. You know, Carmelo Hayes is a great up and coming talent. Bring out the shovel because he's getting buried every week, as all these internet wrestling fans say. He's not getting buried. There's a story they're telling with Carmelo, but I don't know if that story is an immediate U.S. title run. Carmelo, the heel, versus Shinsuke, the heel, doesn't quite add up as much to me. You got a fresh babyface and Damian Priest on SmackDown, but he's kind of a level above the U.S. title right now, it seems. Not that they could ever bring him back down. The only other prominent name that comes to mind would maybe be Jimmy Uso, perhaps winning the U.S. title, which I think would go great. I think Jimmy Uso would be a killer name to win the U.S. title. But there's something special about Aleister Black. And I really think he is untapped potential. And if he comes back, you can't close him off. You got to give him the ball and let him run with it. I think Aleister Black is a guy you shoot to the moon. You don't even slow roll Aleister Black. You know, there's slow rolling Carmelo Hayes right now. You know, that's a little bit of a burner story. I think Aleister should come in and be right in a title picture. Mid card title, hold it for a few months, lose it to somebody, put somebody over, and then bam, Aleister Black is right in that top of the card, feuding with guys like Penta, Braun Breaker, Cody Rhodes. So many potential matchups for a guy like Aleister Black. Again, so many potential avenues. Maybe they do pair him with Zelina Vega, like I said before, you know? There's a lot of avenues there. Andrade could pair with Zelina Vega. Aleister Black could then pair with Andrade. Who knows? You know, this is all fantasy booking. I can't put my finger on the pulse exactly of what they're going to do. But I think Aleister Black back to WWE is best for Aleister Black. It's best for C2 Wrestling. We love Aleister Black. And it's best for business in WWE. And now, finally, perhaps the biggest name in this free agency list, none other than your newly crowned Defy World Champion, Ricky Starks. This has been a long time coming for Ricky Starks, you know, similar to a guy like Miro, Rusev, not on TV, being held back. You know, with Rusev, the difference is I can't necessarily say he was being held back. You know, it seems like he maybe had a lot going on in life and some other things went down, and maybe he just wasn't on TV. Ricky Starks is being held back by AEW, and it's his time to shine. You know, he's definitely got connections in WWE alongside Cody Rhodes, amongst some other names, I'm sure. Ricky Starks is true, as I said with Aleister Black, untapped potential. That is a guy that, not to throw any shade at AEW, but that is a guy that I cannot believe they didn't strap the rocket to. Out of all the talent they have, which, I may not be the biggest AEW fan, but we absolutely acknowledge the truth of the facts here that AEW has had a stacked roster for the longest time, a very, very stacked roster. It's almost made up. It's almost, universe mode in 2K, and you downloaded some created superstars from other companies and you put them all together. Crazy untapped potential. Hasn't been around for a while. Showed up to some indie events, gets pulled from those indie events, ends up winning a title at another one, but has not been seen on wrestling TV in a long time. And now is the time. Ricky Starks, I think, is the maybe most definite name out of these three to be transitioning to WWE. I think there's an argument that ALEISTER is a lock for WWE as well. But Ricky Starks, again, the sky's the limit for a guy like this. Miro, Rusev, put him in NXT. ALEISTER to SmackDown, I say. Ricky Starks, I think, is a guy that skips NXT as well and is a straight shot to the main roster. Now, Ricky Starks has potential very similar to Penta, where Penta, again, a guy held back by AEW. This is all pretty much fact at this point. And Penta's been around for a while. He's a very big name in the world of wrestling. That debut, a week after the Netflix debut, Monday Night Raw, was electric. Penta is one of the most over guys in the company. Top selling merchandise, the masks, everything. Clearly over with the fans. The presentation of him was fantastic. And the similarity between him and Ricky Starks is AEW holding both of those guys back almost makes the WWE debut for each of them bigger because people want to see them. It's not even necessarily a matter of a realistic, logical wrestling fan wanting to see them in this company or this company or this company. They just want to see them. They want to see the wrestlers wrestle. Ricky Starks, Penta, all these guys. If AEW, however long ago, when Ricky Starks wasn't getting put on TV, wanted out of his contract, if they would have just let him go, he still would have went to WWE and it would have been big. Don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't have put as much of a negative light on AEW for holding guys back, and it wouldn't have made the Ricky Starks WWE debut more anticipating. Everybody wants this. We want to see this. We want to hear that music hit and Ricky Starks come out and confront Cody Rhodes or who knows. And it's bound to happen at this point. Now, there's a lot of potential feuds there for Ricky Starks. I think he is a guy that, again, has potential similar to Penta, but you have to build him up a little bit, similar to Penta. I don't think he comes in and immediately feuds for a title, like I said, Alistair should do. I think Ricky Starks should come in with a similar debut to Penta, go over a couple guys, maybe find himself in like a mid feud, mid card title, not even mid card title feud, just like a mid card feud, go over a guy or two, and then he can kind of sprinkle into some main roster stuff. Hell, I mean, there's even potential for factions for Ricky Starks. Who knows? But the guy has all the talent in the world, just like Alistair, just like Rusev. But Ricky Starks, again, might be the most must see name to come over because we've been anticipating it for so damn long now. Hearing the news, whether it's tonight on Monday Night Raw, whether it's next week on Monday Night Raw, or at WrestleMania or the day after, I think the Ricky Starks debut is pretty imminent, and I'm looking forward to it amongst all the other free agents, amongst all the other content we're going to be releasing here on C2 Wrestling. I said it at the top of the video. Go onto our channel, hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on, like this video, comment. Let me know what you think about Rusev, Miro, whatever you want to call him, Aleister Black, Malachi Black, Ricky Starks. Let me know what you think. Where should they go wrestle? I would love to see Rusev do Bloodsport, for example. Even if he does go to WWE in the future, I think that'd be a great place for him to have a match with, say, a Josh Barnett or somebody like that. There's so much potential for all three of these guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'll be coming back in only a few hours for a Monday Night Raw review, so be sure to tune into that one as well. For now, I'm Snowden. C2 Wrestling.